Guys, I do apologise for the slowness that the book reviews have been coming in lately. I have been moving house. I've been trying to keep up with them, but I have now settled. So hopefully now you'll start getting book reviews regularly again. And let's jump straight into it. Stephen King, Later. This is the latest Stephen King novel. Immediately it frames itself as a crime novel. You see right there on the banner, Hard Case Crime. Frames itself as a crime novel. And when I read the blurb, it's all about Jamie Conklin, who's a child of a single mother. And he's got sort of a sixth sense, a shining, if you will. He literally says, I can see dead people, but not like the guy from the Bruce Willis film, the kid from the Bruce Willis film. So he can see dead people, and he knows when people are dead, and he knows that they know that he can see them. And the blurb basically says that he's pulled in to an investigation of a killer that's threatened to strike from beyond the grave. And his abilities, he starts to struggle with his abilities. So if I read a bit of the blurb out, Jamie can see what no one else can see and learn what no one else can learn. But the cost of using this ability is higher than Jamie can imagine, as he discovers when an NYPD detective draws him into the pursuit of a killer who is threatened to strike from beyond the grave. So it's framed as a crime novel. You think it's going to be about catching a killer from beyond the grave and saving lives, and it's not. There's a great deal of action in it. It doesn't let me down there. There's a great deal of action, a great deal of tension. Stephen King's trademark horror is thrown in there. It's more about coming to terms with growing up and death and grief, because the book starts out when Jamie's about 6 and it ends when he's about 15, 16. So it's essentially a coming of age novel, and this sixth sense is used as a sort of a framing device for growing up and learning new emotions and coping with grief and loss and losing loved ones as you get older. I think that's the overarching theme of the book. It's very entertaining. There's some entertaining characters in there. You really, really want characters to do well. You really feel sympathy for some characters where you need to feel it. I'm trying not to spoil anything here, but you really, really want Jamie to succeed particularly. You really want him to achieve his goals and achieve his aims, and the motivation is very clear. There's no blurred lines here. Jamie just wants to live a normal teenage life, and at every turn he struggles to do so because of this ability to see dead people and converse with them. His mother she's a struggling proofreader, and she really wants to just provide a good life for herself and her son. And at the start of the book, it's going really well, and then business kind of dries up, and as the book goes on, things get a bit worse and then they get a bit better. So you really feel the financial struggles with the family. You really want Jamie to just have a normal life like he wants, but obviously it doesn't work out that way. The detective, Liz, is the one that pulls Jamie into this world. She is dating Jamie's mother for some time, and she realises that he has this ability, and then after they break up, I do realise I just sort of spoiled a tiny little spoiler for you guys. They do break up, but then she comes back and she pulls him into this world of investigation, and it's essentially a coming of age novel. It's not, if you're going into this book, as I was to a degree, expecting a mystery, whodunit, tension, thriller type thing about trying to stop a killing happening from beyond the grave, that's not what you're going to get. You're going to get a coming of age novel, very well written, very beautifully written. It's written in the first person, which is different for Stephen King. As far as I've read Stephen King, I've never read a Stephen King novel in the first person before, so if there are any others, do feel free to let me know. And because of his gift, Jamie has a very, very, very blunt way of looking at the world, and the language he uses reflects that. And it's written as if he's writing in his 20s, relaying back what happened to him between the ages of 6 and 15. And the language he uses is very grown up, very mature, obviously, because he is in his 20s. But when you remember that this is a kid, this is the same kid who we're being told about in the story, you realise that this kid has really been through the ringer. And the language that he uses, the swear words and the bluntness of the language that he uses really, really reflect that. A lot of authors just use swear words for shock value or for just because they can. just to get that, you know, parental advisory sticker. Stephen King actually utilises swear words here, and that's not something that a lot of authors do, and I think that's very, very admirable. He uses swear words to reflect the hardship that our main character Jamie has gone through. So definitely pick it up. It's definitely worth a read. That was Later by Stephen King, Stephen King's latest novel. Definitely worth a read. Out of 100, I'd give it 85%. Definitely go ahead and pick it up. Don't forget, comment, rate, subscribe. Let me know if you want to see me review any books or whatever. I'll hopefully get around to them, and I'll see you next time.